Yeah, we should be more positive in our commandments.
Yeah, you should do thou shalt do these things.
Covet your wife.
No. Oh, your wife. Yeah, okay. but covet still just kind of sounds weird.
Keep everyone around you alive. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to take the positive side.
And low bars. Just keep them alive. Jeez. Keep those kids you got. Keep them alive.
The BeatiDudes. Oh, yeah, BeatiDudes. Don't break that mic. Hey, everybody. Jeff Sheffelbein here with the BeatiDudes, a show for Christian men walking on our way, hopefully, to eternity with our Lord Jesus Christ in the Netherlands of heaven.
Wait, what?
Has anybody ever called it the
Netherlands? No, I think you might be the first.
The Heavenlands.
I think the Netherlands look heavenly. That's really what I'm getting
the
at.
nether world was the way that the Greeks used to refer to Hades, a.k.a. hell.
Let's start over then in my brain. We're going to heaven. Come with us. Jeff Sheffelbein here, joined by Nick Besner.
It's like Neverland.
Thank you. Maybe. Better. And Paul Colker.
I'm going to Disney World.
Yep. And then to heaven.
Yep.
We are welcome back to our brand new studio. This is our first time to ever be in this studio. It looks a lot like the old
similar.
one. Yeah. What are you liking so far about the new studio?
I like how narrow it is.
Can people believe it got smaller?
Impossible.
You might be able to tell from the camera angles how much closer the main shot is here.
I can touch you, camera. I actually had a call on Friday with a group that follow the BeatiDudes. They're good people. And they saw like a close-up of me in here, and they're like, what happened to the tiny table? I said, it's here. I'm just so close to the camera. You can't see it.
Good.
So
really, it's all a ploy for the cameras to get closer to Jeff's arms so that he looks bigger on camera.
You're welcome, Paul's
grandmother's enjoyment.
She made a comment one time.
My grandma's never commented about your biceps.
It's because I wear reasonable shirts, Jeff.
My reasonable shirt is brought to you by soccerreligious.com. Catholic concepts and giant biceps.
Amazing.
That's what they're known for. These are cut to make you look jacked, even if you're just a regular dude. Like,
it's true.
Yeah.
I'm basically a consultant, and I look like I might work out.
Yeah.
Okay, we're excited. We're excited to be here today. Back in action. We're in season 5 for crying out loud. Ooh. How did this even happen?
Man.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it happened.
It just keeps going.
This is the season I win. Everybody knows that I've been holding out because I thought 5 was a special number for winning.
Really?
Oh.
Why is that? Justify it. Give us one reason.
Yeah, I named a company 5.
Dang it. That's a good reason.
That's one reason. I knew he was going to go with that one. You walked right into that one,
I set the bar too low. That was my fault.
Well, it's an appropriate bar most of the time. Just with the number 5.
Just one
I just wasn't thinking of that. I was like, well, you have more kids than that. I was like automatically doing this calculus, but not your old company.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So anyways, welcome to my winning season. And we're also going to welcome our guest today, Stephen Thomas. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Where are you from?
Chicago. Southwest suburbs, Chicago.
What
Manhattan.
do you call the South? What?
Manhattan.
That's what it's called, Manhattan, Chicago?
Manhattan, Illinois.
It's the stupidest name I've ever heard.
We're from upstate New York, Texas.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'm from Cook County as well.
Are you really?
It's Cook with an E, and it's in Texas.
Ah.
Oh, wait, that one's actually real.
I'm from Brooklyn, Capel.
Yeah.
You basically have your whole Brooklyn.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's also dangerous. I don't know Brooklyn thing.
Because
I don't
of your family.
It's actually very true. What brought you to town? Why are you in town? The BeatiDudes is the answer.
Yeah, I really it's like a pilgrimage, just like a BeatiDudes pilgrimage.
Oh my gosh! Don't feed us with that.
Yeah, I mean,
No, yeah.
no, and I walked down here backwards because I wanted to be on your show. It's something I've dreamed about.
Took you 4 seasons to walk backwards.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
No, you come to Dallas quite a bit, but you're the author of Catholic Joe. I'm just going to tell you this. That's who you're about to hear from. The author of Catholic Joe, Stephen S. Thomas. Yeah. Of course, if you're an author, throwing in an initial, it makes you sound super official.
So good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Stephen S. Thomas. What's the S? Sebastian. Silenor.
No.
Silenor?
Silas.
Silas.
Stephen.
No.
With the PH spelled a different way.
Stephen. That's perfect. Don't. Scott. It's Scott.
Oh.
It's Scott.
Is
isn't
it spelled with only one T?
2 T's.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
are you Irish?
What?
Irish, Scottish, German.
Scottish, are you?
Yeah, Croatian.
I know.
Are you Irish? Hey, Dave, could you turn up the oxygen meter here? Get a little low.
Oxygen meter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just,
We are
Well,
off.
No, actually, so I came down, want to start the second book. So I flew down with my son David over there, staying with a friend, but really wanting to dig in for the next book.
what does that mean, dig in? You go to Dallas where, what?
Well,
A
I
lot
knew.
of Catholic action.
No, I knew. I flew down here from Chicago. It was about 28 degrees, and I came down to Dallas, and it was like 11.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why I came down to Dallas.
Hey, it's cold there. Let's go.
Oh my goodness! I'm like, what?
Do you go, like, how do you write a book? What's the process for you?
So I do a lot of prayer. So I'll find a adoration chapel, and just really just beg God just for inspiration. And in fact, I'll write a fair amount of it. Take my laptop in to the adoration chapel and just talk to Jesus and say, okay, Vinnie had a foul mouth. He used a lot of expletives, and I'm like, how can I still put this in the book without offending people? And so we had a little arm wrestling, and he won.
God won,
God won.
not Vinny
Not Vinny.
with that mouth.
Vinny with the foul mouth.
Were you raised in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like pretty
say.
tough.
OG.
No, not really. No, I'm just not effeminate.
There you go. And raised Catholic?
Yeah. Nominal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's more cultural kind of thing.
Yeah, it's cultural Catholic. But again, came from a really dysfunctional family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that? You want me to skip it?
Oh, that's. You want me to cry on the air?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Yeah. No. So.
Jeff is all about
call us.
ratings.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
No. So actually, parents divorced when I was in high school. So father, his dad left him when he was a kid. My mother, she had a lot of problems with her family. She had to be taken away from the family for a number of years. And so from that kind of stew, I came into this world.
Yeah.
And so there's that brokenness, and that's one of the reasons I wrote the book was really to talk about marriage, and really, when you're kind of forged in the crucible of divorce, that's the thing that really makes me white hot in my passion for marriage and to promote marriage. And so that's what I try to do in the book, is to try to show the beauty of it. And because I feel like that's really, what ails our society and our church.
Let's go back to you're nominally Catholic, being raised in Chicago-ish. And where does faith start to take root for you? How do you become Stephen, the family man, the
Catholic
real life
novelist?
Catholic Joe?
Yeah.
The real life Catholic Joe. That's funny. So actually, it was in high school. Again, time of the divorce. We had Nashville Dominicans that taught at our high school. And it was this one, Sister Philip Joseph. She's still alive. So hat tip to you, sister.
She's a huge fan.
Wherever the camera
She has a
is.
sticker of us on her water bottle.
Yeah.
She will. She will.
Anyway, so in fact, she said, afterwards, she goes, honey, she's from Nashville. She goes, honey, every time you walked in the room, I cringed.
Oh no.
So I thought, thank you. No, but she really was the, some priests. So Father Ryan, Father Caffer at the time, it was them, and it was Fatima. So some lady with a babushka somewhere left this booklet in our church about Mother of Christ Crusade, the story of Fatima. And I read it, and it just rocked me. So it was really the story. I'm kind of a child of Fatima, if you will, kind of like a child of Woodstock, but opposite,
Yeah, very opposite.
But really it was our Blessed Mother. I feel like she picked me off the ash heap of life and really formed me. I went into the seminary, got kicked out of the seminary. But I
You're
went
not
in.
the only guest to have been kicked out of the seminary.
Haven't kicked out of worst place.
Kicked out.
Kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I discerned out there.
Not a host. Our hosts are all over the place.
Discern, kicked. It's kind of the same.
I have discerned. I'm
leaving.
You can't kick me out. I'm discerning now.
You can't. I'm choosing to do this.
Yes, that's right. No, so it was really that's really where it started. Was our Blessed Mother. She really, like I said, she took me into her heart, and it was really our Blessed Mother that she, like I said, she picked me off the ash heap, and so from there, just again went into the seminary, discerned out. I got kicked out of St. Meinrad's for a year, and it was after a year and a half because a bunch of crap that was going on, and I can I say crap?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll leave it.
All right. Just put a bleep.
That actually makes it sound like you said something else.
Right.
I can't bleep an okay word, or else people are like, what did that dude say?
Yeah,
I'm like, well, he said a word that was kind of questionable, so we made you think it was worse.
I did work in construction for a number of years.
And you're from Chicago.
And I'm from Chicago. All right.
Did they let you say that word on the construction site?
I used to. Anyways.
What are you about to tell us?
No, let's censor.
All right. So going back to the question, what was your question you asked again?
Tell me about Fatima. Why Fatima? What do you think it was about Our Lady of Fatima that hit you so profoundly?
It was the children sacrificing. It was the souls falling like snowflakes into hell, and it just rocked me. And again, I was at a really, so my mother like dabbled in the occult, so that we had stuff happen at our house that, crazy stuff.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, so it was when I started my conversion that evil started to manifest.
Yeah.
So it would, it's not like it physically attacked me, but like interiorly, you could sense evil, and it happened for years. There were times where I would literally wake up running out of my bedroom in the middle of the night because I sensed this whatever demon, whatever it was. And it wasn't until, it was funny because it wasn't until I said, God, it was, this whatever evil spirit, whatever it was. And there's always this chaos. And I said, God, if this is going to make me a better person, I accept it. And then it was gone.
Yeah.
And it never came back. Never came back. And because I remember when it first started, I was like talking to it, I would be like, the Immaculate Heart's going to crush your head, blah, blah. It's like all this stuff. And it was just like enraged. But yeah, so, I think evil likes to stay hidden until it feels like it's
losing.
It's kind of losing. And so it kind of, then it comes out. But so really it was the whole idea of the children sacrificing, giving up all these things. And at that time, again, there was all these things going on in my life. And it was just, again, it was our Blessed Mother. She really, and again, I love her with, I love her deeply. And in fact, the book, everything goes to our Blessed Mother, consecrated to her. And I was typing, to the Immaculata, and she was like, no, she goes, I want it to be dedicated to my most chaste spouse, Joseph. And so, again, I've got a devotion to St. Joseph, but not like a deep, deep devotion. But actually writing the book has led to a much deeper devotion to St. Joseph. And I can tell you some St. Joseph stories too, if you want.
Hey y'all, Kevin Fitzpatrick here. I have a course called Major Gift Millions that teaches nonprofit fundraisers how to raise more money from their top donors. Normally, it's $1,500, but if you click the link below and use the coupon code BeatiDudes at checkout, you can get enrolled for free today.
I'll take those. One question though is, how did it work out with your mother when she found out about the conversion or the deepening? I will say from nominal to.
First of
phenomenal.
all,
to phenomenal.
That's good. This guy's sharp.
Right,
man. He's really sharp.
I'm pretty sharp.
If it wasn't a new season, I'd give you a point for that.
Thank you.
But I'm not going
Oh,
to.
Yeah.
well, phantom points.
Can I
It's
answer
the
my
thought that
question?
counts.
Stephen, as you were.
Sorry. No, so
You can answer my question.
I'm gonna forget about it by the time I answer it. All right.
That should be on a T-shirt for us.
True.
Sorry, we do this way too much. Please continue when you are ready.
No, it's all good.
Your mother.
Take too long.
Yeah, my mother. Don't be talking about my mother.
Yeah,
All right.
you do it.
All right. No, actually, I was gonna say when they found out like I wanted to go into seminary,
Yeah.
they were like, they looked at me like, and they started laughing. Like, are you serious? Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Which, you know, again, I was the least person. I was alcohol and drugs and, fast life and, just living in the dark side. And then again, I was this tough guy in high school. And when I had my conversion, I was at lunchtime, I was with all the girls praying the rosary, and they're looking back at this guy going, what the hell, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
So I almost said that. But
Still, I'm
yeah.
not going to ding it.
Yeah.
So just keep going.
okay. No, so yeah, there was a lot of disbelief. Yeah, a lot of disbelief. And But
So
but no.
all within high school, even is this conversion.
Yeah, it was during the divorce. It was everything was hitting the fan, and but God's grace was too, and that's the beautiful thing is that
God's grace also hits the fan. The BeatiDudes.
No, the Steve fan. Sorry.
That's what the middle Steve is.
yeah. So
That's incredible.
Yeah.
so what else you want to talk about?
No, I love that. There's a couple images I feel like kind of pop up in the midst of your story where the suffering becomes the avenue or the way that God could reach you.
Yeah.
Like it's not that he necessarily wants it, but sometimes when our lives are just hunky-dory, right? Like everything's going along smoothly, we don't necessarily try to turn to him, or where there's maybe not this openness. And so it sounds like he reached you in your moment of need.
Yeah.
And maybe even because of the moment of need in a way. I mean, who knows the mind of God?
Yeah, there was a lot of darkness and a lot of suffering early on. And even when I went in the seminary, I was just talking to my son. My son he's with the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was talking to him about when I was in the seminary. It was some of the darkest times of my life. I tell him I used to walk among the tombs. So there's a cemetery there, and again, there was I don't know if you call it depression, oppression, whatever it was, but it was just really dark. And I just remember, again, there was this big crucifix in the cemetery, and I would walk around and I would just stand and just sob underneath this cross, looking up at Jesus and Mary Magdalene and John and our Blessed Mother, and but would just pray and just ask God, for some light. And I knew, again, there was no light then, but I knew that it eventually it would come. Those were, again, all that darkness, all that suffering, all that woundedness comes into play. And I've become a big believer that, our wounds don't define us, but they really do. God uses those in a way that brings fruit and brings redemption. And I feel like the more we get in touch and the more we kind of allow our wounds to be transformed, the more God's grace works through all that. And I feel like, in that book that I wrote, there's a lot of that in there. There's a lot of, you kind of leave a bit of your part of yourself when you write a book like that. And not that, I'm Catholic Joe, but the thing is there's a lot of
it's informed by your experience.
Every character in there has a little bit of me and a little bit of others, and
somebody that or met along the way. Yeah,
and I make fun. I got some guys in there that I just really dig really good. So
nice.
I got you, and you'll know who you are because I.
Oh, that's great.
That's
great.
Oh yeah.
Is this has this been published? Is it out for sale now? Is it still in the works?
Yeah. No. It's out. You can go to Catholic. Can I do commercial?
Yeah, sure. Plug it all, bro.
www.catholicjoe.com. So go to catholicjoesuperhero.com. Oh my goodness.
Listen, let's get the website.
All right, Superhero.
Don't worry.
catholicjoesuperhero.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
What did you look at on the cover that made you know that you had the wrong website? This is just a picture and some words. There's no URL.
It says superhero at the bottom. So
correct, but that's not a URL.
No, but that's for the author, superhero Stephen S. Thomas.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
What can
people people ask me that. They go, why'd you put this so close to your name? I'm like, what am I going to do? Put it like in the Vatican?
Bro, yeah, that's
so you
fair,
had to
but
spread it out.
Based on the picture, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, God's providence. Sometimes things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I
Do you know, the first time I read this
Superhero.
book cover, it said, "What can one man possibly do?" Superhero, Stephen S. Thomas.
Well, so you read it?
By Catholic Joe.
Did you read the book?
You know I read the first part of this book. You know I did. And
You
then I
can,
hit,
you
hold
can
on.
see where he stopped based
I
on the
can
crease.
see.
Now, make fun of me, guys, who've never bought his book before. Okay, so then I handed it to my wife, and I said, "I've read the first pages of this.
Yeah.
It's going to blow your mind."
Yeah.
And she said, "I need." This is no joke,
So
bro.
out of charity, you gave it to her. That's
No, out of
good.
love.
Out of love.
Yeah,
Out of
it was,
charity as well.
it was sacrificial of me to
Yeah.
let her read it first.
Right.
agape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agape.
And thank
And
you.
then came.
And she finished, and no joke, she said, "I want a sequel." So that's what we're here doing in Dallas.
That's what we're
series,
doing.
right? Yeah, so it's part of a series.
It's part of a series.
Love that.
Yeah, she's going to be blown away that you came down here and the BeatiDudes made it in the sequel.
This
I think
is
it's
the
gonna be
beginning.
amazing.
Yeah,
When Catholic Joe gets out of
is
jail.
the
I read the
beginning.
website a little bit about it, but like for the audience, a little teaser. Like,
Yeah.
what's kind of the premise? Is there a spy novel out there that would be like akin to, or
Yeah,
just
so
like,
it's kind of so a lot of people said it's like Tom Clancy,
Yeah.
Jack Ryan series. I had like a big this guy that he reviewed over 400 books last year, which I'm like, how can you do over one book a day? So anyways, he reviewed it, and I couldn't wait to hear what he said. And he goes, he's two things he said that really popped out. He goes, first of all, he goes, this is like a Catholic Jack Reacher, Jason Bourne. I was like, you know,
Yeah, baby.
nailed it.
and every guy, that's, and
that's
then
legit.
what he said that really impressed me is he goes, I couldn't help but just stop and pray as I read it.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could almost call it the born again ultimatum.
wow, man. I am looking for a name for my next book. So yeah, if you could maybe
I can riff a lot of crazy ideas.
Born again.
we do brainstorming well.
We don't
Not a lot
necessarily-
else.
The execution might,
Yeah.
but if you want to take whatever, yeah.
I can execute. You guys just do the bloviate and stuff, and all. Yeah,
That's a good way to sum it up.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
yeah. Sorry,
What
it's like I hardly know you, but I can still make
No,
fun of you.
no,
So-
you
Absolutely.
feel it. Yeah.
you know
hung out
him. He's
with
a
us.
beatitude.
That's
Come
right.
on.
He's a dude.
Tell us about what happened. Like, what was the setup of this guy's life that he's worthy of?
What
400
was
pages
the
of greatness?
inspiration? Like, where do you
Yeah.
like? I'm gonna write a fairly thick novel here.
Yeah. So it's kind of loosely based on General Flynn, loosely based on a friend of mine, a military guy, and a couple other people. But the main character, Lieutenant General Joseph Salvatore, gets woke out of the military. He finds out his youngest brother, Vinnie, is getting a divorce, wants to get a divorce. And so again, he came from such a beautiful, loving family. He was like, he couldn't understand it. So he flies out to Las Vegas, meets with his brother, and like two good Italian brothers, they fight, right? And by the time they're done, they're hugging each other, telling each other they love each other. And but he wants to go out there and he fights for his youngest brother's marriage. That's how it starts in the particular, and then he fights for marriage in Universal in the church. And so he uncovers corruption. So hopefully you won't be scandalized by there's a little corruption there. But
But that doesn't happen in real life. Corruption.
no, there's no corruption in the church. Come on. So I try not to be gratuitous with it, but it's there. And the thing is that we, there's certain things in the church that I feel passionate about, and one of those is marriage, and that's why I in the book why I focus on that and go after some of the leaders.
Yeah, and you're not trying to necessarily glorify the darkness or any of that. It's a plot point that it aids in the beauty of the marriage.
You have to show. Yeah, you've got to juxtapose and use paradoxes and contrast to really highlight the beauty. And so, but you have to show the ugly and the sin, and there's a lot of corruption in the church. And I think Bishop Cousins just said, I just talked to this guy. He said Bishop Cousins just said the other day, he goes, the main problem in the church are bishops. It's like,
Wow, yeah.
It was this Bishop Cousins, and I thought, wow, he gets it.
Well, and if you look at Lumen Gentium, though, I mean, the document says is the church is a human and a divine institution that's basically married, right? Like the body and soul, human and divine. And so, yeah, you're going to have broken, messy elements in that human part. It's not It doesn't necessarily, it can affect the divine part, obviously, by maybe driving souls away or things like that, and people who would belong to the church otherwise. But
no, that again, we have to, you got to be careful because, and I asked a lot of people to read it and say, hey, am I going too far? And I had a lot of like priests that I respect that said, no, you're well within your, well within your range. Because I love the church. I never want to do anything to belittle or harm it, so, but I'm not afraid to go after certain people either. So,
It's an interesting line. Like you want to have this like righteous indignation for things that are wrong, but at the same time, recognize the humanity of other people. And then you want to say the institution deserves better, but you also want to say, I'm not trying to bring down an institution,
Right.
I guess you just write a 400-page novel and say good luck.
It's 516 pages.
Yeah. Wow. I read the first 400, then I set it down and gave it to my wife.
The first pages, you said.
First 400.
Of the series.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's already invested.
What I hate when you finish a book and you're like wanting to read the next one, but it's not out yet, so I wouldn't.
So you just
finish
wait
it.
and save that last 20%. Totally
Go
smart.
flying straight
So
into
smart.
book 2.
There you go.
When is book 2 coming out?
2027. I don't know. I have no idea, man.
Wait, so
He's out here doing recon.
I'm just
in
trying.
the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just. What's warm today?
70 degrees outside.
He came in, it was 11.
Tough times.
I know.
Yeah.
But no.
You came in on Tuesday?
I'm not sure. We came in on Wednesday.
I knew when it was 11.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So are you coming here as kind of like an author's retreat in that way? Like a way, is it a way to get away from your normal routine?
Yeah, pretty
He's
much.
uncovering corruption.
Well, I didn't want to pry too deeply if that was the mission.
We're doing covert research.
The podcasts that are scandalizing the church.
What?
They're taking real words from the Bible and turning them into their own words.
But that's in Blessed Are the Joke Makers, so it's
That's not in the BeatiDudes at all.
No.
You had a podcast you pitched me over text message, and then I thought it was so cool. And he's like, just kidding.
Wait, what? You did a bait and switch?
Yeah. I was like, you should go for it. And he's like, I'm kidding, you idiot.
I could never tell if you understand my sarcasm.
Nobody knows to this day what I understand.
No,
Including Jeff.
including you. Yeah.
Especially over text,
Might be
right?
the smartest guy here. We'll never know.
Or no.
I'm not here.
What?
Okay, what was your podcast idea?
The 10 Commandments.
All right, let's hear 'em.
You got the 10 Commandments, the Beatitudes. So I tried to make a play on the.
Well, there's a good
on
chance
the
we're going to
dudes.
launch it, the Commandments.
Yeah, and
10
we'll just
Commandments.
every week we'll give you the bullet points.
All right. Okay.
Bullet.
I can work with
The
you
bullet
guys on that.
points.
Are you talking about working with me, or you
Well,
talking
I don't know
about
because
taking the idea?
I just want to just put them out
steal the
there.
idea?
Thou shall not kill the momentum on a brainstorm. That's a 10 commandment.
Yeah.
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 Thou shalt not abandon thine platoon.
Yes.
Thou shalt not covet thy wife's book.
Yeah, I mean, you gave it to her.
I know. I haven't touched it since.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
This is the extra copy I bought so that I could have it on the bookshelf
Oh, nice. Okay.
because I wanted to promote.
Awesome.
We know a lot of people that try to pinch zoom on YouTube, which you can't do at all.
Yeah.
And they're always like trying to figure out what the books are. This is the only one they can recognize because it says superhero Stephen Thomas.
Actually, another reason I came down was for a retreat.
Okay.
And my priest, my spiritual director, he said, I want you to work on humility. So I'm down here working on humility. So I appreciate you
going so
guys
far?
making fun of me and helping me out. Yeah,
We're here to help
We can
you.
pile on if need be.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of some more commandments we could help you out with.
Oh, okay. All right, let's think about it.
Yeah. What are you going to do with taking the Lord's name in vain? Don't just keep that one.
Pumping the Lord's name in veins.
Oh, yeah.
Thou shall.
Thou shall.
It's a commandment to shall.
To shall. Thou shall.
Thou shall.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be more positive in our commandments.
Yeah, you should do thou shalt do these things.
Covet your wife.
No. Oh, your wife. Yeah, okay. but covet still just kind of sounds weird.
Keep everyone
Desire.
around you alive. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to take the positive side.
And low bars. Just keep them alive. Jeez. Keep those kids you got. Keep them alive.
Finish the commandments today. I'm going to bed.
There you go.
Okay. Well, speaking of going to bed, you want to see me put these guys down for a little slumber in a little game?
Yeah, go for it.
This game is called Blessed Are the Joke Makers, for they shall inherit the points.
I regret every word of that.
We're starting off season 5 with 105 points.
All right.
It's
Yes.
like our sixth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We
Well,
have
that's
multiple
starting off.
CFRs on here. CFR
That's right.
kickoff season
Nice.
5.
All right. So the way this is going to work, we've got a character card, Catholic card game card, and we have to answer the prompt here on the Catholic card game card as this character, and you just get to decide who won in your eyes.
Okay.
You are the
your ears.
superhero.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
You get to decide. You get to dole them out. All or nothing, though, so you can't spread out the points to everybody.
I want David to be able to hear the cool
just-
music that we play. So I'm
Oh,
going to
sure.
hold this up so you can hear.
Okay,
David.
there we go.
Yeah, you
All
can
right.
be able to hear from right there. You're
So
good.
the character that we're all going to play some version of is, as a therapist, Catholic millennials are known for blank.
Catholic millennials are known for doing this new dance on TikTok. It's where they run around blasting people and being superheroes in a Catholic super novel. I'm quitting.
I withdraw my statement.
I was too focused on the music and the moment, and then Nick. I look over and Nick is in a
He's
different zone. So
going transcendental on us.
we're gonna go ahead and let Transcendental. Oh gosh, here he goes.
Oh, doctor, I don't know. I don't know what to do. You know, it's just like living as a millennial in this Gen Z world. I'm lost. Well, of course, son, the problem with Catholic millennials is they haven't had any real superheroes to look up to. You know, used to have just on your average television network all the good ones, but they're all gone now, and there's really nothing masculine for anyone to look to. So I'd recommend you pick up a copy of Catholic Joe Superhero.
I really like that.
By Stephen Thomas.
I'm going to give you credit for leaving the screen altogether
Yeah,
so
you
your
were
character
gone.
could enter.
That's right.
Yes, as a therapist, I would like to say that the Catholic millennials, they are known for a lot of things. They are born in the transition from analog to digital, and there's a lot of change that had to happen there. But they have developed a bad case of time blindness, and so they show up late, and they're also tired. So I would suggest that they start their morning with a cup of Catholic Joe.
Hey. All right, you got between the guy who played two characters and the guy who went straight Freud on you. I will bow out of this 105 points unless you really want to make everybody mad. You know, by thou shalt give points to the guy you've known the longest.
Oh, is that one of the commandments?
It is now. Y'all didn't come up with the other 10. What do you say on points here?
I would say, to be fair,
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to give it to Paul.
Yeah,
Just the accent. I mean,
we get it.
I love your kissing up, Nick. I mean, that was,
It's a good strategy.
yeah,
Well, we call it pandering, but yeah.
whatever.
Can I do my impression of Paul?
Yeah.
Stephen Thomas, we love your book so much. I'm from Eastern Europe.
That's not an Eastern Europe
But pretend it was.
Yeah, but if it,
Thou shalt pretend it was.
yeah, thou shalt never been to Netherlands. For being our celebrity judge, you're getting socks of St. Lucie.
Oh, nice.
This is part of your reconnaissance mission to Dallas. You don't have these already, do you?
No.
Of course not. Why would you buy these online? You would get something like St. Joseph. But I said, you're going to come here and St. Lucie's going to mean something
Give
to
you
you.
the vision.
Yep, that's right. So
Here at Lucy Private Offices.
That's awesome.
that cans.
You guys are so
It has an
kind.
S in
Thank
it.
you.
Um,
Good day.
Oh,
He threw them straight in the trash can. No.
Dave, for being our celebrity guest sock catcher, you're getting BeatiDudes socks from Jeff Shufflebot. There it is. And Paul Kolker and Nick Besner. I didn't even look. Did he catch it?
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Boom. Off the
Bang.
wall.
Okay, and for the rest of you, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Nick, when it comes to investing, I just feel like money and morality don't always line up. What's the answer?
Often that's the case, but our friends at Aquinas Wealth Advisors have a really great solution. It's called the Faith and Finance Score. You go on their website and you put in your info. They tell you where you're invested and where it doesn't actually line up with where you want to be.
So you mean I don't just have to funnel money towards a retirement fund where I don't know what it's investing in?
That's right, you don't. And you don't even have to give up or sacrifice returns. You can get both.
So just get on the computer, bing, and I type in the website.
AquinasWealth.com. It takes longer to type than it does to get your faith and finance score.
Thanks, guys. Great job, Nick.
You betcha.
Dude, you're on fire today.
Well, speaking of that, have you guys ever worn a custom tailored suit?
Yes.
What?
No, trust me, the segue will make sense because On Fire Media will make a custom tailored website for you.
Nice.
So On Fire Media is all about marketing for mission-driven groups, purpose-driven companies. You guys know something about
For
that,
sure.
right? So what they do is they help you with your email marketing. They help you with Google Ads, with a custom website.
With your pay-per-click?
Yes, paperclips, I'm sure, probably.
No, pay-per-click.
Ah, yes, a term they know, so you don't have to. So they will help you with all of that. All you have to do is if you want to fret less and mission more, go to onfiremedia.com/BeatiDudes to schedule your discovery call today.
Can I get a discount?
Actually, yes. The first 10 people to sign up and become customers with their own custom website get a 10% discount.
onfiremedia.com/BeatiDudes. You know what I think is hard about starting a business? Healthcare, for crying out loud. It's expensive. It's intimidating. At the end of the day, you're probably paying for stuff you don't even agree with. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I knew you could. So what we did is we started working with Solidarity Health Share. Totally different. These folks are aligned with us morally and ethically. And even the structure from a cost perspective works for us as we're launching businesses, as we're growing our families. And I don't know if you know this, but a couple times my kids went to the hospital in the last 2 years.
They sure have.
Yours?
But Solidarity has walked with us through all of it, including some crazy stuff for Benny Pro, my little boy. So all of this to say, I would encourage anybody out there thinking about their own business, their own needs, check out Solidarity Health Share for a better alternative to regular healthcare. So check out learnmore.solidarityhealthshare.org/BeatiDudes.
Stop what you're doing and listen to the BeatiDudes.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Stephen Thomas. And one of the things I'd like to just kind of get back into as you've been writing this book and getting into your writing process, I guess, really like what did that journey look like? How did it come about? Have you written other books, that sort of thing?
No.
Okay.
Next question.
No, actually, so the process, the journey, as you mentioned, it's funny you mentioned journey. So earlier on, so I'm gonna take you back 18 years. So I was praying, getting ready to jump in the shower, talking to our Blessed Mother. I go, Mother, what's something we could do just for your son? And the whole idea of a Eucharistic procession, National Eucharistic procession. So I tried to get it going, and never. But it wasn't until they called the Eucharistic Years Revival, reached out to Bishop Cousins, and then worked with the CFRs to really push it forward. And then it was after that a friend of mine decided to do a pilgrimage we had a relic of the True Cross. So we walked across the United States, about 4,500 miles. I was there for probably about 850 of them. It's about a month of walking. So and again, praying for the success of the Eucharistic pilgrimage, praying for marriage, praying for family and for our country. It was wild. And it was after doing that pilgrimage that God gave me the grace and really the perseverance to really grit out. Because it's not easy to write a book. It takes a lot of just resilience because there's a lot of times you don't feel like writing. But it was really after doing that pilgrimage that just the floodgates were open and just started pounding it out. And sometimes going to the Blessed Sacrament Chapel, sometimes up in the bedroom, just again. And then, financially we were a train wreck after that because I wasn't working. I was writing a book, and I don't know if you know it, but authors, they really don't make any money for the most part until your audience sees this and buys thousands.
The money's in podcasting and then being on said podcast.
Exactly.
We all know that. We just sit here waiting for people to show up.
10 commandments. That's why. Boom.
Thou shalt not mess with Tiny Tim's Tebow table. That didn't work.
That's not. That was.
Okay, keep going. So you helped to orchestrate this entire walk.
Yeah.
We still don't get how you end up writing a book. You just pray and think and write and pray.
Yeah, again,
Character development's like a pretty big part of this.
Well, I had been thinking about it for decades, as far as just the whole. Actually, you know when it started. So here's what this. No one's ever heard this before. It started when my wife and I used to teach NFP, so natural family planning, and we constantly were getting shafted. Like, oh, we don't have any rooms for you. We, never giving us the resources that we needed. And it was so frustrating. I thought we need a Catholic superhero, somebody and so that's when it started. I was like, it's kind of crazy, but
I love it.
Yeah, but it started then, and then the whole idea of this Catholic superhero just kept going, and then Marvel, and I thought, why not have somebody that can actually, again, he can't lift up buses and throw them, but he can lift up souls and. Right, bring them to the Father, and I mean, think about this. Is one of the things when I give a lot of talks. Talk about baptism, the power of our baptism, the power of we are anointed. We're anointed with the same oil that a king is anointed. Priest, prophet. We are anointed, and those aren't just symbolic; those are real. We're grafted into God's family. We're able to call the Almighty, immortal God Abba, our Father, or Daddy. We can call the Son of God. Our Jesus, our brother. So we've been given this dignity, this power, and that's the thing behind Catholic Joe's superhero is he knows the power of his baptism. He knows the power of his faith.
I mean, this is like give it to young men when they enter into the marriage prep. Like, read this.
Yeah.
If you can live up to Catholic Joe, which wasn't he like in the service?
Yeah. Marine. He was a Marine.
He knew the commandments.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that we just our third daughter just got baptized, and I think the deacon gave a good portion of his homily was right. You can say, you should get baptized, and like you can why, right? Why should you get baptized? Well, you could take one view that's like, oh, so you don't go to hell, right? Or you say like, well, no, it's like the outpouring of grace that is so multiplicative and overflowing. Like, which one of those is more likely to invite somebody into that conversation, right?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. Well, I thought maybe this would be a fun way to kind of close out the show, the same way that some people might just open up a Bible and see what it's speaking to them. Maybe we can just take turns reading a line or two and then contemplating how it's impacting us.
A little popcorn reading.
Yeah.
Love it.
A little roulette. A little Catholic Joe roulette.
Catholic Joe roulette.
They call this Stephen Thomas Davigno.
Reverse Simpsons.
Thank you. Reverse Simpsons. Joe interrupted Monsignor. We've got everything we need to take him down.
Is that
it? Nice.
For real?
Look,
for real?
I don't know what I'm doing, but when I read that line, I'm thinking, who's Monsignor?
Who are we taking down?
What do we have?
What do we got?
We
got everything we need.
Paul's going to use an accent.
All right, here we go.
From Chicago.
All right. Tommy stood up at his computer station and started singing and dancing with the song he pulled up. I feel good, da 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 da, like I knew that I would. Nah, da 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 da. I feel good. Joe laughed to himself as he listened to Tommy and saw the three young misguided men in his Range Rover wondering what the heck just happened to their night of partying in their newly stolen car. Lot going on there.
So this was let me explain
Please
this.
go for it.
So I got a friend of mine, Harold Morgan. I call him my Jewish friend. But
Is
we
he
were
Jewish?
Yeah.
I know he's Jewish with air quotes.
I just call him that.
Yeah. It's not meant as racist. He
Right on. He's Jewish.
he calls me So anyway, so this chapter came from this conversation we had about the perfect security system for a car. And so we were talking about how, first of all, it's got to have electricity. There's got to be electricity involved with it. So if somebody's going to steal your car, you've got it all wired up for electricity. And in fact, I actually had to tone this chapter down because the thieves were getting jolted and zapped and everything, and and because you can self-drive the car. So anyway, so the thieves who stole the car, the doors were automatically locked. They couldn't get out, and they were able to self-drive it. They didn't have any control, and then it was just we just had fun talking.
Clever.
About it. Do you know? I would listen to Paul read that book all day long after that chapter. Like, you worked right into that very quickly.
Thank you.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah.
We could do our audiobook.
I would love that.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to read something? There's this one line I got to read to you.
Let's hear it. Why don't you give it to Nick first? Because I feel like you're the author.
Yeah.
You got to
Did
just...
you feel like that?
Yeah. That's good.
I didn't give you a chance.
No, that was good. That was good.
One thing Joe also had on his radar was to find out how his brother could fall off the rails like he did. In his conversation with Vinnie, a number of things came up that caused concern. He knew it wasn't his family life. He thought, Mom and Dad gave us a beautiful example of what it meant to live a faithful marriage. But there were other people who he wanted to see, like the original parish priest who married Vinnie. He wanted to look at the process of how engaged couples were trained to give them the tools needed. Joe thought this was a battle worth fighting.
That was in the first 400 pages. I do remember that part.
155.
You know, what kind of things is his brother grappling with here that you can maybe give us a little teaser into?
So Vinnie was very successful. Had a IT company, sold it for hundreds of millions of dollars, but at the expense of his family. So his children didn't know him. His wife, they had grown apart. And it was good because I had a friend of mine who had been divorced. When I wrote it, he goes, time out. He goes, it's a lot slower process if somebody's going to actually like reconcile. He goes, it just doesn't happen like that. So he actually helped me like slow down the process of that, healing that was going to take place or hopefully take place.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Vinnie was a relentless genius. But he had lost his way with his faith. So
awesome. Let's hear the line that you're excited to see there.
I gotta find
Superhero.
It's actually, I don't even need to look it up. So there's a line in here from Fulton Sheen.
Yeah.
And it's and Fulton Sheen was talking about what would it be like when we come before God? What's God gonna say? And Fulton Sheen said, "Show me your scars." That's what God is going to ask us. And I'd love to share with you the crowning moment of the book, but I won't. No, but there's a scene in there where
don't want to give it all away.
Where he Joe has scars all over his body. He's fought, and he has this again. The USCCB, they invite him in because the bad bishops wanted to find out what he knew. Good bishops wanted to hear from him because he had done a lot of good things. And so he talked to the bishops, and he said, in regards to that, show me your scars. He goes, do you have scars? If you don't, that's not a good thing. Because if you're in the battle, you're going to have scars. If you don't have scars, it's not going to go well for you. So Joe is basically saying, we all have to have scars. Yeah. And we do. I mean, as married men, and we should have scars because we've kind of fought some of the battles, not just with our wives, but but for our wives, and we all have scars, right?
We do have scars, and I think about that. Like, this is the 1-year anniversary of my son getting hit by the golf club. This is the day that led to us finding his brain tumor. Really? And I think about like the scars of my last year and how beautiful they are. They're scars of family and of triumph and of fighting through it. There's about maybe 300 people that will say stuff to me about something I said or did with them in the last year, and I'll say that doesn't ring a bell at all because I lost a big chunk of my memory.
Don't doubt it.
That's okay. I mean, it happens all day long now. People will say something, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you'll forgive me, I have a lot of scars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Oh, you being on the show is not a scar. It is a blessing.
That didn't.
Thou shalt consider this a blessing.
There you go.
Commandment. Yeah. So we're going to be talking to you more about the vocation of marriage, the call to marriage, when we come back on the bonus show on Friday. But Catholic Joe has a website. It's CatholicJoeSuperhero.com, we think.
Yes,
On the World Wide Web.
Yes.
And you could read this if you went to Wyoming Catholic, because you would have no technology. You would just be on a horseback learning about the great books in Catholic Joe, Wyoming Catholic College.
Nice.
Anything else we forgot to include?
Nope. I already said Lucy private offices when
So
we
we're
gave him
good
the
there.
socks. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You are a blessing. That is a commandment. Keep being a blessing to everyone you meet.
Thank
And we'll see you on the Friday show. Everybody out there, we can't wait to see your scars. And for the rest of you, we will.
See you in the Eucharist.
God bless.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @ that's the symbol @, so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @the_BeatiDudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.
Beati